Greetings. We back with another video. And this is after E3. I'm pretty sure everyone saw E3. We had the reveals of the new games that are coming out in 2021. And not for nothing, E3 was a little lackluster. Could have been a little bit better. But I stumbled across the internet recently and noticed that Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins outfit hint they're not of that world. Now, when they showed this trailer, it was very interesting because it was supposed to be a revision or retake on the first Final Fantasy game. And honestly, it was an interesting concept to begin with. We saw the trailer before that. It was a trailer they released a couple of while back. And it would look interesting, look promising. The graphics were different. But recently they showed us a new trailer of these particular characters. And not for nothing, these characters look pretty pale. They look like, you know, they got to go back to the drawing board as far as the costumes. I mean, looking at these characters is like, okay, they look like the basic, bare bones characters that you would design in an app or something. I mean, they actually look like some sort of like dress-up phone app game where you could just put a t-shirt on them. You know, this is all like character creation right here. I hope it actually has character creation. Honestly, that wouldn't be a bad idea. But if this is what you're going to be looking at throughout this entire game, and these are actual real characters, then Tetsuya Nomura needs to go back to the drawing board. He needs to go back to the basics of, I don't know, buttons and big belts or something, because this looks like a tragedy. It looks like complete trash, I'm sorry. But he had a recent interview on a website here, and I wanted to talk about it. So here's Nomura's exact comment going over the Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin outfits, Jack, Ash, and Jed. Oh, Jack, Ash, and Jed have on, and how the clothes themselves matter. Look, Tetsuya Nomura heard about the backlash of that chaos trailer, okay? He heard it, alright? You know, he saw you guys' videos. He saw how people were clowning it. It became a meme at E3, alright? But it compelled Tetsuya Nomura to come out and make a statement about the clothes of the Warriors of Light. So he goes, yes, people probably imagine characters that look like the emblematic Warriors of Light when they think of Final Fantasy 1. But as you say, if you're familiar with the premise of Final Fantasy 1, you might be able to pick up some clues from the designs of Jack and the others. The initial outfits for Jack and his allies are nothing more than a hint to show. First of all, let me stop you right there, Tetsuya Nomura. This ain't no hint, alright? We're not in the age of Kojima hints, alright? If you want to drop hints like that, then you need to be working next to Kojima, because only Kojima could do hints as well as he does. I mean, Kojima has a way of all of his games, all those Metal Gear Solid games that he created, he does that on purpose because his intellect is way more higher than yours, Tetsuya Nomura, alright? So don't be trying to be sneaky. Don't be trying to drop clues before the game even comes out, alright? Stop it, please. But as he continues, the initial outfits for Jack and his allies are nothing more than a hint to show that they're not of this world, of that world. They don't represent anything about their character. Like other games where you can change your equipment, this is simply their plain state, perhaps. Now, alright, he says perhaps at the very end, okay? He's playing with words. To me, this sounds like Tetsuya Nomura does not have a plan for this game. I'm just going to be brutally honest. He does not have a plan for this game at all. It's still in the development stages. Don't get it confused like he's this mastermind of creating great games or great character designs. I don't think that happened. You know what I think happened? I think Tetsuya Nomura walked into the dev room. You know, the devs were saying, yo, man, we getting clowned on this chaos, man. We getting clowned. Like, they are ripping us on Twitter right now. That trailer was bad. What are we going to do about it? And he must have said, well, I mean, to me, it seems like Tetsuya Nomura has become this... I mean, his ego must be so inflated, right? Where he feels he could just walk into a room, and if he sees a mixed bowl of Skittles, he only wants the green ones, so he'll send it back to the kitchen to just get green Skittles, okay? I mean, his ego has went beyond Square-Enix's control, all right? And, you know, that's my opinion of who this guy Tetsuya Nomura is. He had humble beginnings. Tetsuya Nomura had humble beginnings in the beginning, and he would make few designs here, and make a few design choices there for certain characters, and it was a modern take on where Square Enix wanted to go with Final Fantasy. But in time, I think they gave him so much control of everything that his ego has become a rock star. He literally believes that he's the be-all, say-all of Square Enix, and that is not the case. But let's keep going here. So, Nomura also pointed out the international difference in appearance from the typical Final Fantasy hero. He said the following. Additionally, one of our concepts was to create something that looked completely different to what people might picture when they think of the Warriors of Light. First of all, you can't change the Warriors of Light. All right, there's certain things that are in Final Fantasy that are just grounded. You can't go around trying to change up, trying to remix or remake or remaster these characters. These characters are a staple in Final Fantasy. You can't do that to these characters, Nomura. You have to leave well enough alone. You know, when it started out, Final Fantasy was, you know, Empire times, kings, knights, chocobo riders. You know what I'm saying? You can't come around now and then put, you know, slick gel hair and make them look like Fonzies or something, all right? The fashionado concepts that you're trying to do to these classic characters ain't gonna gel well with a lot of people. I mean, but we'll continue. The Warriors of Light fighting Garland in Final Fantasy I. Jack and his allies have the mission to defeat Chaos, but we needed them to be characters that people would think of as totally separate to the Warriors of Light. All right. Seems to me that this game is not complete. It's not well thought out. Tetsuya Nomura cannot complete games, bro. And I said this in my previous video. He is going along with a day-by-day basis of ideas. And when you do that, you confuse your devs who need a plan. You can't execute this game without a plan. You can't execute this game without a story. This is part of story writing. Like, you gotta follow certain points and certain beats. And there's a book called The Hero with a Thousand Faces. That has never changed. You have to follow certain beats in story writing. But it seems like Tetsuya Nomura is going this by a day-by-day basis. I don't even think this is fully fleshed out to get a true ending. And if it is a true ending, like Final Fantasy I, well, you know there's going to be time traveling and space ninjas and all sorts of other weird crap that he's going to throw in there. And I think he's going to leave it on a cliffhanger because he believes that he can probably make a second version of this game or a sequel. But, man, like I said in my previous video, bro, he's going to end up Swiss cheesing the heck out of anything he touches. And I hope that Square Enix really takes consideration to say, you know what, dude, all your little weird ideas need to fall back for a minute. Let the devs just work on this. Let it be a community-based type idea, you know, like have everyone at the table giving their ideas and execute the best ideas. And I think they do that. I do believe that Square Enix does do that. But when Rockstar Tetsuya Nomura comes walking in the room, everybody has to be silent. And it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way, Square Enix. You need to listen to the guys on the ground. Like, at any job or any profession, The guys on the ground know the building more than the person in the office. The person that sits up high in the office has no idea what's going on the ground floor unless he literally walks down on the ground floor to see how the operation is running. But what I think is happening is he's sending off a little bit of letter, a little notes, and it's going back down to the ground floor. And I think all these devs are looking at the paper that he just wrote like, what the heck is he talking about? That's not how this works. But they have no say-so. They don't think they have any power to do anything, so they just follow what Rockstar Tetsuya Nomura believes and does, and his ideas and his vision. And then you get a crappy game after that. But tell me what you think. Comment below. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this, but yeah, Tetsuya Nomura is dropping hints, and as long as we've known Tetsuya Nomura in games and these hint drops, it really doesn't pan out too well. Peace.